Hey Woodworkers, what's going on? 5 o'clock Woodshop back, and as you can tell from the video title and the thumbnail, we're here for a little bit of spring tuning today. This is my version, and should be every Woodworkers version of spring cleaning. So every spring, not only should you clean up and organize the shop like we've been doing these last few months, but you should go through your heavily used power tools, especially the ones you paid a lot for and want to keep working well. Just give them a little tune up. So today we're going to work with 3 of our heavily used tools. We're going to work with our jointer, this jointer that I got, our drum sander, and then our planer. And I'll go through what I'm doing to each specifically, but it's not a lot. It won't be a long video, but there are things that you should do to keep your tools running smoothly, efficiently, and through the course of the spring and summer months. We'll do this again in the fall. Do it about every 6 months. Okay, so the last piece of equipment that we're going to spring tune is our planer. This was a hard lesson that I learned last year not doing this. I broke several feed belts, which I'll show you here in a second, which is a pain to break. And it put me out of business for like 2 months, waiting on parts to come in, because after ordering the shoddy parts off of Amazon, I tracked down the OEM parts from partswarehouse.com, and that took a long time to ship, and it was expensive. And I think I could have prevented all of that with a little bit of spring maintenance. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our similar, clean the feed bed, in-feed, out-feed tables, and put paste wax on them. We're going to lubricate the 2 drive chains that spin the cutter head, whether you have the straight blade or the helical like mine. We're going to check on the condition of our belt. I happen to have a spare belt. Hit or miss on whether you should have a spare belt waiting. You should always have spare parts, right? So we're going to check the condition of our belt. And then the very last thing we're going to do, which is a little unorthodox way to do it, is we're going to clean the feed rollers. So feed rollers sit on either side of your cutter head. I'll try to get a picture of them. Well, you'll see them because I'll take them out. But what they do is they put that downward pressure on the piece. That's what causes the piece to slide through the planer. And so they're kind of pushing the piece through. If those feed rollers become caked up with gunk and they lose because they're kind of tacky. If they lose that tackiness, they'll stop feeding your piece through. It can put a big strain on your planer, and then it will eventually lead to the snapping, the tearing, whatever of your feed belt, which is what happened to me. So again, and we'll also lubricate the bearings that those feed rollers turn in. Again, I just say this because I struggled with it for a long time last year, and then finally, like as soon as I clean these feed rollers, and lubricated them and lubricated all the chains and everything, like the machine worked 10 times better. So let's go ahead and jump in. You're going to see me go through a montage of tearing it down. It's really simple. We're going to take off the wheel here. We're going to take off both of the plates on either side here. I'll put what tools you need on the screen and we'll go from there. All right, so we went ahead and pulled this whole thing apart. It was pretty gross inside, definitely need for cleaning. I'm a little concerned because I see that the belt has walked off of the pulley like almost halfway. And there was some kind of chewed up rubber in here, so I think it was getting caught in the chain a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and reset it. All right, so after playing around with it a little bit here, I can't necessarily get it to track on the wheel correctly. Every time I make the correction, it wants to immediately walk back on the next cycle. An interesting thing about these planers, there's 2 types that are made in different locations, and so they're manufactured differently, and one has a much thinner belt. And the first belt that I ordered was actually a much thinner in width belt. And I thought it was wrong, and now I'm kind of thinking, well, that's just because where it tracks, and it's got to be something with where the upper pulley sits in relation to the bottom pulley. This one must be a little bit further out, which is why the belt wants to track out. And maybe if I had, well, definitely, I think, if I had the thinner belt, it wouldn't overhang like this, and that's why I think it was eating into the chain a little bit. Now, on that, I think it's run enough that it's kind of eaten itself away enough that it won't cause any more problems, but curious to see if this snaps again. that's going to be my deduction, and I'll replace it with the thinner in width belt. There is a way to tell which model yours is. I don't know it off the top of my head. If you're really interested, I'll drop it in the comments. Just let me know. But yeah, so that looks okay. The condition of the belt overall looks fine though. It's still nice and thick, and there's no like more kind of like fraying inwards, so I'm not too worried about it. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna apply this super standard stuff you can pick up at like O'Reilly's or Autoport Star, a CRC chain lubricant. And we're just gonna add it to our chain here and our sprockets on each side and go from there. Okay, here's the unorthodox. To get to these feed rollers, you could do it from the underside like I have it once you have it all the way raised up. But go ahead and raise it all the way up. And we're gonna make this much simpler on ourselves to kind of beat gravity since it's constantly working against us and make it easier to access the feed rollers. We're gonna flip this whole planer up on its end. Okay, now we've got to get these guard plates off here, and they're a real annoying Phillips head screw, so we'll see what we can do here. All right, I just want to make a note. You see me using this socket wrench with the extension and a bit holder, and it's got a Phillips tip, probably a number 2 in there. I'm not really sure. These are all Phillips head. People recommend upgrading them to like a pan, a star, maybe even a hex, because these get stripped out really easily. Like you saw me trying to do with this, a screwdriver, and I could feel it wanting to strip already. And that's like a really hard screw to get out once you strip it. So I'd recommend finding something like this. Gives you a right angle to put some torque against. Okay, so I don't know why they made this side like this, but you need snap ring pliers to get these sprockets off. So get the ones that start pinched together and then that you can spread apart. You know, place them in the holes and then spread them apart and take them off. Funny thing is I avoided doing this to get the chain off to lubricate it. I didn't realize that I would have to do it to get the feed rollers off. Okay, put them down like so. I'm gonna take the sprockets off. There it is. We're gonna put that in the tray with the other one that's lubricated. Okay, so as you can see, we've got our rollers out now, and then the square bits on the end is actually the bearings for these. And so you're gonna wanna take those off so that we can lubricate them. Just notice that there's a thicker and a thinner portion of this bearing. The thinner portion goes towards the top of the machine. And I say that so that if you have it down or up, it doesn't matter which way you have the planer oriented when you do this, you know that the thinner portion goes to the bottom, or the top of the planer. So we're just gonna take these off. All right, and it's really interesting because I lubricated these last year and they're already kind of dry, and I put a generous amount of lubricant on there. So it really just reinforces the fact that, yeah, you should do this once a year. You've got these foam pads on the side with the feed belt, so just keep that in mind. JK, you've got them on each side, so keep that in mind. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray the rollers with all-purpose brake cleaner. Again, super cheap, super easy to pick up. Just spray them down and wipe them down. And then for the bearings, we're gonna clean those up real good as well, but we're gonna use red and tacky grease. It's kind of like a putty or a gel maybe, and we're gonna lubricate the inside really good, and we're gonna lubricate the ends of these rods. Yeah, and then we're gonna reassemble. Okay, now that we've got everything reassembled, this is a really good time, since we're already doing maintenance, to go ahead and pull the lid off. We're gonna get all the built up sawdust over the last year out of there. And we're also going to take a look at our helical blades. If you had straight blades, this would be a good time to replace them or sharpen them, whatever you needed to do, or just even at the very least to assess them for damage, nicks, dullness, things like that. I think these don't even come out, if I remember. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and run through that real quick. You're going to see me spinning my helical head and then replacing a blade or two if I need to. The really nice thing about a helical head with the blades that I have is that there's 4 sides to it. So if a blade is nicked, which you can tell because you'll get indentions on your planed piece of wood, or just by looking at it, you can just rotate. Shop foreman's got that one. You can just rotate the blade so that, well, you get a brand new surface, brand new blade. All right, guys, so just like that, we are complete with spring tuning. Just to run you through one more time, we went ahead and removed all the surface rust from the top of our cast iron jointer, and then we protected it and took care of the surface by putting on that layer of paste wax. We then replaced the blades just to make sure that we're ready to go for cutting board season, am I right? All right, next we moved on to the drum sander. We replaced our drum paper with 120 grit sandpaper. You could have used any grit. I just chose to start with a fresh roll of 120, and then I replaced the feed or conveyor belt, and I made sure it was tracking correctly so that the tool would last for the season. Relatively easy to do. Just follow my tips, use the correct tools, use the OEM belt, and you'll go from there. Finally, we moved on to our planer, and we went ahead and we cleaned the feed rollers. We applied paste wax to the in-feed, out-feed tables and the planer bed itself, and then we lubricated all the chains and took care of any debris that had built up inside of those 2 manifolds. That's what I'm going to call them. That's probably not what they are, but the covers for that chain assembly, so that the machine would keep running. We checked our blades, made sure that was all good. Didn't need to replace any this time, but you may, so just check them while you're doing the maintenance. Again, all in all, guys, about 4 hours of maintenance. Really, it's going to pay off, pay dividends throughout the year so that I'm not down having to replace parts and spend time and money on labor and parts, but also in lost business, guys. So just do your maintenance every spring, and then we'll do it again in the fall. So semi-annually, and it'll pay dividends. I'd like to just thank real quick, since we're talking about paying, this week's sponsor. You see it in the hat. You've seen it in what I've been having around the shop. Totally kidding, guys. Not this week's sponsor. Every week's sponsor. I wish. Seriously, if anyone from Coors is watching, hit me up. If I could have one brand deal, that would be huge. Pay attention to all the description. I'll link everything we use, from the conveyor belt that's OEM for these Jet and Performax sanders, to the blades I use for my jointer, to the red and tacky lubricant I use for the bearings on the rollers. Everything I use will be linked there as an affiliate link, or just not an affiliate link, because I want you guys to get the right products for your maintenance. This has been 5 o'clock Woodshop. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm out. Like, subscribe, and comment. That's it.